Okay, so you've been following the adventures of Miso Hungry and the gang,
right? Right.
Their journey in Chapter 3, well, it takes a wild turn, landing them smack dab in the middle of, wait for it, Nebraska.
Nebraska, yeah. It's fascinating because Chapter 3 starts with this, jarring sense of normalcy. They just escaped this goblin-infested farm.
Right.
And now they're waking up to cows and, a home-cooked breakfast.
Yeah, it's like whiplash.
Yeah.
You go from fighting goblins to just sipping coffee with a family on a Nebraska farm. I mean, come on.
Right.
Miso, Poppy, Aurora, and Decklin, they've seen some crazy stuff. But this has got to be surreal even for them.
Oh, absolutely. And the source material really leans into that contrast, especially with the descriptions of Jeb and his family,
Yeah.
They're just simple folk going about their daily routine, completely unaware of, the larger forces at play.
It makes you wonder how they'd even begin to process the idea of, Lizardfolk, barbarians, and githyanki monks.
Yeah.
Let alone the magical abilities these adventurers have.
Exactly. And that's where Jeb's warning about keeping those abilities under wraps, that's where it gets really interesting. He's not just being cautious, he's expressing this, deep-seated fear of the unknown, the potential consequences of revealing something so extraordinary.
It's almost like he's seen it for too many sci-fi movies where the government swoops in and, starts experimenting on people.
Oh, there's totally a parallel there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it speaks to a very real anxiety about the implications of advanced technology and the potential for those in power to just exploit or control something they don't understand.
But it's also a clever way to ground the story in a relatable conflict. Even in a world of magic and monsters.
Yeah.
There are still those, very human concerns.
Exactly.
Privacy, safety, the balance of power.
Yeah, it sets up this intriguing dynamic where our heroes, who are used to being celebrated for their abilities, are suddenly forced to hide them, to blend in.
Which brings us to the clothing montage.
Oh, yes.
You've got to give the author props for the sheer absurdity of this scene.
Yeah.
These, battle-hardened adventurers trying to navigate a clothing store.
With, neon colors?
Yeah.
Shoulder pads?
Oh, yeah.
It's pure comedic gold.
It is. The source material doesn't hold back on the visual details either. You can practically hear the cheesy synth pop blasting from the speakers.
And the way each character reacts to this, unfamiliar fashion landscape, it's so perfect.
It's great.
Miso, bless his heart, he ends up with this afro wig.
Huge.
That's probably twice the size of his head.
At least. Yeah, it's a moment of levity, for sure.
Yeah.
But it also underscores Miso's, childlike wonder. His tendency to just embrace the absurd.
He's just happy to be included, even if he looks ridiculous.
Exactly.
And then you have Poppy, who's more interested in flirting with the shop girl than actually finding anything to wear.
Oh, classic Poppy.
Right.
Always seeking attention and approval.
Yeah.
Using charm as a weapon just as much as she uses, her daggers.
Right. It's a reminder that even in this extraordinary situation, these characters still have these, very human desires and motivations.
Then there's Decklin and Aurora, who seem to embrace this 80s aesthetic.
With surprising enthusiasm. Yeah.
You'd think they'd be the most uncomfortable, but they actually find, a strange kind of confidence.
I think you're right, yeah. It's interesting. It raises that question of, are they trying to fit in or are they trying to stand out?
Yeah.
Are they embracing the absurdity or are they trying to use these outfits to deflect attention?
Yeah. Either way, it makes for a hilarious visual.
Yeah.
But the fun and games don't last long, do they?
No.
The moment they step outside. Sirens and the skeptical gaze of Sheriff Rex Johnson.
And, who can blame him for being suspicious?
Yeah.
He finds goblin corpses in the back of Jeb's truck.
Yeah.
And then comes face to face with a 7-foot lizard folk in an afro wig.
And let's not forget his deputies, Sam Taylor and Jack Iron Malone.
Oh, yeah.
Their reactions are fascinating.
They are.
Sam is clearly ambitious.
Yeah.
Eager to prove herself.
Right.
And Jack, with his, gruff exterior and his dry wit, he's like the voice of reason.
Trying to keep things from escalating.
Yeah. It's a nice touch by the author, adding those different perspectives.
Yeah.
It highlights that this isn't just a clash between fantasy and reality.
Right.
But it's also a collision of personalities, of different ways of seeing the world.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it creates this tense atmosphere. It's like something's about to snap.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, it does. Enter Jugga and Unga, the hill giants who are, well, they're just as bewildered by their surroundings as our heroes are.
They are.
Except they express it by chucking cars around like they're toys.
Oh, yeah. This is where the action ramps up. The source material does such an incredible job of conveying the chaos and the destruction. Buildings are smashed, cars are tossed through the air.
And poor Jack Milan, he meets his end in a truly epic but tragic fashion. I mean, who could have predicted that a flying VW Beetle would be the thing to take down this seasoned lawman?
Right. It's a turning point in the story, I think, for both the characters and just for the tone of the narrative. It's not just like a lighthearted adventure anymore. The stakes have been raised. And the consequences are, well, they're becoming all too real.
And it's clear that his death has this, profound impact on Sam and Rex.
It does.
They're not just dealing with the aftermath of the giant attack, but they're dealing with the loss of a friend, a colleague.
It's a moment of real emotional weight, and it makes you wonder how they'll move forward from such a devastating loss. Yeah, it's interesting that the source material doesn't shy away from, depicting that emotional fall.
Right.
Rex is visibly shaken, He's struggling to maintain his composure. And Sam seems determined to channel her grief into action, to find a way to make things right.
It's that raw emotion. That's what makes them relatable, even amidst all the, fantastical elements.
Right.
And then, just when you think you have a handle on things, we get that brief. A chillin' glimpse of the man in black.
Oh, he's an enigma, isn't he? Dressed all in black, silently observing everything, and then just disappearing. It's like he's detached from the events, but somehow connected at the same time.
It's like he wandered in from a totally different genre.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's never, acknowledged by any of the other characters, well, that just adds to the mystery.
Yeah, it's like he exists on a separate plane, a silent observer, and the question lingers, is he friend, foe, or something else entirely?
And what about his potential connection to the goblin's strange deity from the farm?
Right.
Could he be some kind of agent, a servant of this technologically advanced being?
That's certainly a possibility. The goblins' worship of a being so far removed from their traditional pantheon, that was already one of the most intriguing aspects of Chapter 2.
Right.
And then the introduction of this man in black, it opens up a whole new avenue. Could he be like a representative sent to observe or influence events?
Or maybe he's just a really stylish dude who likes to watch the world burn.
I mean, the source material certainly doesn't give us any easy answers, and that's what makes it so compelling. It forces us to actively engage, to look for clues, to draw our own conclusions.
That makes this deep dive so fun.
Yeah.
It's not just about summarizing the plot. It's about unraveling those mysteries, exploring the themes, and trying to make sense of it all.
Exactly.
So we've got this incredible sense of tension, building at the end of part 1, the giant attack, Jack's death, and then boom, the man in black. Jeb gives the group a choice: head back to the farm or dive headfirst into Scottsbluff.
Yeah, it's brilliant, right? The source material, it just puts the decision in the player's hands. It reflects that whole choice element, that's at the heart of these games.
Totally. It makes us think about the motivations. I mean, would Miso even grasp what's going on?
Right.
I feel like he'd be happy just going with whoever promised him the biggest plate of food.
That's very likely given his personality, yeah.
Right.
But I think even though, Miso is often the comic relief, he also has this surprising loyalty, right? And a sense of justice. He might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's not heartless.
No, definitely not. What about Poppy? I could see her going either way. She's always looking for approval, right? That sense of belonging. So would she go for comfort and safety? Or would she try to, become a hero?
That's a great point. Poppy's need for validation, it drives her actions, and the source material hints at a certain restlessness, this desire to break free from expectations, as a halfling.
Right.
And the situation, chaotic as it is, it could be the catalyst for her to step out of that comfort zone.
Yeah. And then Aurora, with her stoic demeanor, that disciplined mind, I see her leaning towards the farm.
Right.
That place of quiet.
It aligns with her personality. She's a creature of routine, finds solace in meditation. The chaos of the town might be overwhelming. But she's also driven by a strong moral compass. She might see it as her duty to stay, use her skills to protect the vulnerable.
Makes sense. He's not going to sit on the sidelines. And what about Decklin, that werebear nature? I feel like he's itching for a fight.
I wouldn't be surprised. Decklin is by nature a protector. He's fiercely loyal in that werebear form. It gives him the strength, the ferocity, but his temper, it's a liability, prone to, rash decisions.
Right.
The source material often highlights that struggle, human versus animal side.
So he could either be a powerful ally or
a dangerous loose cannon.
Exactly, depending on how he channels that inner beast.
Right. And that's what makes it so interesting. You never quite know.
Okay, so regardless of the path, The source material gives us two distinct settings. The quiet farm versus that dimly lit, kind of mysterious Heights Tavern.
And each setting, it represents a different kind of knowledge.
Yeah.
On the farm, it's vulnerability, raw emotion, coming to terms with loss.
Yeah, and it's not just about the events of the day, but understanding the implications. Jeb and his family, they've lived there forever.
Right.
They might have insights, local legends, strange occurrences, things that could shed light on the goblins, the giants, even the man in black.
They might hold the key, understanding the history of this place.
And then you have the tavern, the classic trope, right?
Oh, yeah.
Gathering place for rumors, secrets whispered.
Yeah, information flows freely. You can feel the pulse of the town.
And in this tavern, you've got Tublin Stonehill, the barkeep, and he's got this, forgotten past. I mean, how intriguing is that? He remembers Phandalin, but it's all messed up in his mind.
It's fascinating, raises so many questions. Is he really the same Tublin, somehow transported? Or a different version, shaped by Scottsbluff? And what does this fragmented memory say about, the nature of reality?
Right. It's like the author is blurring the lines. What's real, what's not, what's memory, what's imagination.
And that ambiguity, it's what makes it compelling. It makes us question our assumptions.
And then there's Rex. Clearly, he's struggling, but he still offers this gesture of gratitude,
Right.
along with a rather intriguing gift, the wizard's wand.
It's a wild card, isn't it? Random spell once a day, could be powerful, could backfire. It just adds that element of unpredictability.
Totally. Imagine the possibility. Miso accidentally turning into, a sheep in the middle of a fight.
Oh, that's great.
Or Poppy, summoning a swarm of bees inside the cavern. It could be hilarious, disastrous, or both.
Exactly. And the fact that the wand just appears on Rex's desk.
Yeah.
Where did it come from? Who left it there? Is it the man in black? Or something else?
It's like these breadcrumbs, and we're just following the trail.
Exactly.
So we've got these two different paths, each with their own challenges. The quiet farm versus the potential answers at the tavern. I don't know which way I'd go.
That's the beauty of it, right? There's no right or wrong answer. It's all about what you prioritize, what knowledge you're seeking, the risks you'll take.
Okay, but before we, dive into the consequences of those choices, there's one more detail. The full moon shining through the skylight.
Ah, yes, significant. The full moon, it's often associated with transformation, hidden powers coming out.
So what does that mean for our heroes? Are we going to see changes, unleashing of, primal instincts, especially with Decklin being a werebear, feels like a bad omen.
It's something to consider. The source material, it often uses symbolism, foreshadowing. That full moon could be danger, loss of control, or even, a revelation.
Man, I need to know what happens next. So we left off with this incredible cliffhanger, right? The group's got to make a choice. The full moon is there, and it just feels like things are going to get weirder.
It's a good way to end the chapter. Leaves us with so many questions.
Totally. And it makes you think about the paths they could take, right? The consequences for themselves and for Scottsbluff.
Yeah, the source material doesn't give us those easy answers.
So let's talk choices. The farm is a retreat, a chance to regroup. But it's also like isolation. Withdrawing from the conflict.
Right. Choosing the farm is safety, but maybe it's passive, let's wait and see.
But the tavern, with all the shadows and secrets, that's more proactive, confronting the unknown.
It's a gamble, could be full of misinformation, or it could be where they finally put it all together, the truth behind everything.
And Tublin Stonehill, the barkeep, he's like a walking mystery. Potential knowledge, but also
unreliable, right?
Yeah. Memory and perception, it can be tricky.
His presence adds that complexity. Is he a victim or a key to understanding everything? Phandalin, Scottsbluff, reality itself.
And what about the wizard's wand?
Oh, yeah.
Unpredictable, good or bad, fate and choices.
It really shows that chaotic nature of magic, creation, destruction, even with good intentions, unforeseen consequences.
And the full moon, that image, the moonlight, it's like a metaphor.
Powerful image. The full moon in mythology, it's heightened emotions, primate instincts, that line between human and supernatural.
So are we going to see, their darker sides? Especially Decklin. It feels like a trigger.
Could be. The werewolf, it's that duality, control versus wildness. Maybe the full moon pushes him over the edge.
But it could also be clarity. Right? Truth is revealed. No more masks.
Absolutely. Transformation isn't always bad. It can be growth. Evolution.
So what's it all mean? What's the takeaway?
I think it's that choice is at the heart of it all. Even with magic and monsters, our decisions, they matter. They shape everything.
And even ordinary places, they can become the stage for these extraordinary events where the lines blur and what's familiar becomes strange.
And maybe even with chaos and uncertainty, there's still hope, connection, and that power of choice.
So for you listening, imagine yourself at that crossroads. The full moon is there. Those choices? You feel the weight. Which path and why? Think about it, talk about it, maybe even play it out in your mind. And until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep diving deep.